Progressive presents The Sounds of the Old World. The year is 2019, and someone is waiting for the previews to start in a movie theater.
Hey, you want anything? Popcorn? Soda? No, nothing?
This has been The Sounds of the Old World. Brought to you by Progressive, where drivers can still switch and save like it's 2019.
Quote today at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
The greatest handicapper in the world remains the hottest and has the biggest plays for Sunday. 85-51 with all football picks since preseason. That record as of Saturday afternoon when we record this. 3 NFL Wise Guy plays are up for Sunday. 3 major plays in the NFL. We'll probably add some NBA as well. Joe Duffy's picks at OffshoreInsiders.com. The industry standard remains Joe Duffy's picks at OffshoreInsiders. OffshoreInsiders.com on behalf of SportsbookReview.com. We are going to preview the Saints and the Packers at SBRodds.com right now. The Saints are a 4.5-point favorite with a total of 47.5. And I'll even have a free pick. And it's information like this why I'm above 62% for the year at OffshoreInsiders.com, going back to the preseason, college, and pro. Look, you had a double-digit line swing here with Brett Hundley in as the new quarterback for the Green Bay Packers. Aaron Rodgers is out for the year. Teams tend to rally around adversity, and that's why I do think, that the Packers are going to be a half-decent percentage play. Short-term, teams rally around adversity when they lose a star player. The odds makers more than adjust. As I said, Green Bay is a 4.5-point underdog. They would have been about a 6-point favorite if Aaron Rodgers were healthy. Also, there's a little bit of an emotional letdown for a team like the Saints, and I've even heard players say it affects their preparation. Maybe once the game begins, they don't necessarily play with less intensity, but it's tough to keep, the intensity in the preparation. And by the way, pro tip, this angle as far as teams, really rallying around adversity short term when they lose a star player, it's going to make you and me a lot of money this NBA season at OffshoreInsiders.com. It applies in football as well, but it is a spectacular angle in the NBA. Also, Green Bay is going to have the element of surprise. Look, there's not a lot of, this is the wrong Brett here. There's not a lot of game film on Hundley here. And they're going to have the element of surprise. Even though, the preseason stuff, teams usually play those vanilla offenses, Green Bay will have the element of surprise. So short term, they'll rally around it. And even if Aaron Rodgers is worth about a 10-point swing, no, it is not quite as big the first game. Look, conversely though, some people would say, look, the Saints, they've become relevant again. The Saints had 2 double-digit losses, and then they've had 3 double-digit wins. So the Saints, talk about feast or famine. Saints have looked like the best team in the NFL. They look like the worst team in the NFL. There hasn't been a lot of in-between. Maybe not the absolute best, maybe not the absolute worst. One of the best, one of the worst. There hasn't been much of a in-between. Now, you could say that when you analyze this game, what I just said, the Saints, because they want to show that they're relevant again, maybe they won't be susceptible to that emotional letdown with Green Bay losing their star quarterback. Undefeated home underdogs of 3.5 or more with at least 4 overall wins, just 5-10 against the spread. And I should say teams that are undefeated at home, not undefeated overall. Just 5-10 against the spread, 1-6 when getting 5 or more. And of course, there are extenuating circumstances. But look, when you have a team that's played very well at home and they're a big home underdog, of course, there are going to be some extenuating circumstances. Saints have allowed 29 points 3 times, yet scored more than 20 only twice. Favorites of 2.5 or more off of 3 straight wins of 14 or more, though just 40-61 against the spread. Remember, the NFL tends to be a regression to the mean sport. And as I said, the Saints, they look like crap, and then they've looked spectacular. So consistently inconsistent. That's one thing that happens in the NFL. I hear Square say all the time, I saw them play last week. They looked great. I can't believe how terrible they looked this week, or vice versa. That's the NFL. Smart handicappers know that. Now the Saints, They are 3-2 against the spread, but they do have the third best spread margin in the league at plus 6.6. But again, the fact that the Saints are actually trending up after trending down, the computer says this is a time to go against them. They're a little bit overvalued, and for all the reasons I explained before, yeah, I can understand how these Saints would maybe be the exception to the rule. That's why this is probably not going to be a premium play, but all in all, I think the odds makers will over-adjust. The Packers will rally around short-term adversity. Look, you look at the Saints the last 2+ years, they're not a very good team to be laying a bunch of points on the road. The last 3 weeks, notwithstanding, and history says, teams that are playing so spectacularly over the past, off of 3 straight blowout wins and then as a big road favorite, they generally come out flat. So my free pick from OffshoreInsiders.com for SportsbookReview.com is to go with Green Bay plus the 4.5. At press time, I got 3 NFL winners, including a wise guy play, the strongest play in the handicapping industry for Sunday. Probably going to add more. Have several game sides and totals with check marks next to them. Do a Skype call where some of the sharpest minds in the world can talk me on or off of a play, etc. The plays that I have, they're etched in stone. I'm not going to be talked out of those, but the check mark games, I can definitely be talked in or out of. And I got about, maybe 5, 6, I think, with check marks next to them. If you're watching this before Saturday, please check before the Saturday portfolio. Huge Saturday. I think it's 4 wise guy plays we got at OffshoreInsiders.com. Please show your support for the OffshoreInsiders.com podcast by betting at mybookie.ag and use the promo code Duffy, D-U-F-F-Y. You will get a 50% sign-up bonus. Yep, you deposit $1,000, you'll have $1,500 to bet with. I personally have used them for several years. My clients also use them, and many of my clients bet big, and all my clients win big. They always pay on time, never a hassle, as easy of a sports book to ever use, and I've used dozens and dozens throughout the years. MyBookie.ag, promo code Duffy, D-U-F-F-Y, MyBookie.ag.
Progressive Motorcycle presents Road Wisdom from the Motor. Half man, half motorcycle. To find your balance, keep riding. And if you stop, put your feet down so you don't fall. Progressive Motorcycle also presents Roadside Assistance. Progressive Motorcycle, for those who were born to ride. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.